We are the poet, the pastor, and the pundit, opining each week on the intersections of faith and politics. We come to you from First Congregational United Church of Christ in DeKalb, Illinois. We hope you enjoy what you hear. Thank you for listening. Well, here we are, the poet, the pastor, and the pundit, as always, here to opine on the intersection of faith and politics. And oh my goodness, how things have intersected since last we were together.
No kidding.
Let's do a couple of preliminary things. It is the Feast of the Epiphany today, a most holy and sacred day.
Yes.
And we are 4 days out from the United States usurping its authority and overtaking a foreign government illegally, unconstitutionally, and outside of accepted international legal norms, attacking a president's home and kidnapping him and his wife and holding them now in custody in the U.S. And I'm sure we'll talk about that. But given all of that, let's just start with, how are you doing?
I feel cut loose from a universe that I could understand.
Oh,
I'm floating around.
a great way to put that.
Yeah.
Cut loose from a universe I could understand.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You got to write that one down.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah.
What do we do?
I took a walk last night and I became aware of almost how depressed I just was, overwhelmed with this sadness. And I'm going later this week to say goodbye to my mom, who died last month. And I know that's a part of it, but I knew that wasn't enough. And when I got home and said that to Mimi, she said, well, just think about what's happening in our country.
Absolutely.
It really is hitting me hard.
It's outside what is believable or normal or really in our experience. It's in a different universe.
You know, we were talking yesterday, Sharon, and something you said really struck me is that, a couple of months ago, something happened, you couldn't get out of bed.
Bondi, Brown, and I can't even remember the third horror that absolutely hit me within 3 days. It hit me in the gut so bad, I just couldn't face it.
And what dawned on you is that you were able to get out of bed Monday.
After hearing about the crap that we pulled in Venezuela, I was up and walking around going, whoa, have I become immune? Has it become so normalized
That's a really scary thought.
I'm functioning?
Yeah.
I'm functioning.
Yeah, that scares me too. And what appears to be happening is the normalization of this outrageous, outlandish, illegal, unconstitutional act.
Exactly.
And within hours, we were hearing even Republican leaders decrying this and saying, how come we didn't know? But within hours after that, that rhetoric all changed and they are all lockstep behind him. And now there are threats to Cuba. There are threats to Colombia. There are threats to Greenland. There are threats to Canada. Panama. And all of this was sort of testing the waters to say, can we get away with it?
Exactly. Can we get away? How far can we push this?
Yeah. Pretty darn far.
And going back to what we were just talking about, it's January 6th today, 2026. What I didn't think I could survive.
It's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years since the attack on the Capitol.
Yes.
An insurrection. People climbing the walls, breaking through, hurting and killing police officers, defecating in the rotunda.
Smoking weed in the
over offices.
Capitol. Yes.
And I
forgot that part.
Thing after thing was happening that day, glued to the television.
Mike Pence had to flee for his life with his wife.
There was a noose hanging outside the grounds to
with a sign with his name.
Really?
Yeah, and it's 5 years later, we've had the Bondi thing,
Mhm.
and now this. I'm not sure if it's normalizing it, but I can tell you, I don't know how much more shocking things my body can absorb.
Exactly.
That's what I can't, how much more can I absorb of this?
That
Yeah.
is exactly right.
And
It's so
before
far-
we act on it, I mean, I have to be standing
Well,
to act on something.
Yeah. I mentioned this on Sunday in my sermon.
Yeah.
I do love what America stands for
So
and
do
its
I.
ideals. And I was taught that as a child. The ideals about the rule of law, the ideals about bring me your tired, your poor, your huddled
Absolutely.
masses yearning to be breathe free, the ideals of we are all created equal
yes.
and endowed by our creator with inalienable rights. And I just am watching, not only watching it all slip away, but watching a nation of people who just either don't care that it's slipping away or are celebrating this without an awareness that
Yes.
while celebrating it, we've lost our country and
Yes.
everything that it stands for.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, when it's all said and done, I don't even want to say this. But if we do lose all our freedoms, do you think they're going to be immune to the freedoms that they have lost? They're going to lose their
No.
freedoms just
Yes.
as well
No.
as we are.
If you saw, there was a young woman who was on her own marching with a protest sign in Minneapolis, and a reporter came up and asked her some questions. While the interview with the reporter was going on, two Minneapolis police officers came and arrested her
Really?
for causing a disturbance and blocking access. It's 20 degrees with snow falling. There's nobody on the street except her, but she's blocking access.
Right.
Right.
She gets arrested for speaking her mind as a U.S. citizen.
Minneapolis police, not
It
ICE.
was not ICE.
It was not.
That's what I'm concerned about. It was
So
the regular
the regular
municipal
guys
police
figured that she was doing something illegal.
Yeah,
Where are
in
we?
Minneapolis. I mean,
right.
that's
Right.
one of our bastions.
I
isn't
know,
it?
right?
Oh
Yeah.
my
I-
Lord.
yeah.
Well, we're in fine fiddle today.
Aren't we though?
Yeah.
Yikes.
So that what strikes me is the hypocrisy of this act of our president, who is making the claim that this was not a military action, but a, an action by the FBI to execute an arrest warrant on somebody who has an indictment against them in a New York court. It right.
Trump,
The
Trump
fact that
articulated that.
yes. So here's the hypocrisy of this. If a head of state has an indictment against them and we must take military action to execute the warrant against them, then why isn't he in a jail cell?
He exactly belongs in one.
What were there 94 felony indictments against him
94.
that the courts were told to put on hold because he was a candidate?
Right.
Right.
And that now
Right.
that he's the president,
Right.
he's immune from prosecution. If that's their legal argument for Trump, why is that not the legal argument for Maduro?
Right.
Okay.
And
Exactly.
it's all BS anyway.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
the sad
It-
truth.
and-
And it by degrees. I mean, when those cases against Trump came up and they were delayed, well, you know, he's a candidate. Oh, well, he was a former president. How can we do it? Right is right, wrong is wrong, law is law. If you break
Right.
it for one, then you should break it for all. I
Absolutely.
walked around thinking, well, I should be able to do whatever I want to now because
Right.
he got away with it. Why shouldn't I? I'll just claim Trump immunity or something like that. You
That
know,
would be a good one. Yeah.
It just,
But you're right.
The
It's like it
lawlessness
all
of
went
it.
out the window.
Yeah.
And
concept.
speaking of the lawlessness of it, on the 5th anniversary of January 6th,
Really,
the number of 1,500 pardons for people who were convicted of or pled guilty to attacks against our government.
right.
What does that say?
And the
Exactly.
part that you mentioned, I keep thinking of this one woman, probably a little bit younger than me, but old enough to know better, had pled guilty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when she was pardoned, she said, "No,
Uh,
I was
yeah,
guilty."
I love
Right.
that.
That's
And I
wonderful.
thought, oh, 1 out of 1,500
Right.
had the guts
Right.
to say that and do that. Okay. All right, calm down. Calm down.
No, don't calm down.
Okay, the military.
15,000 troops in the Caribbean, 150 aircraft deployed that night. Wasn't a military operation, but there were 150 aircraft deployed that night.
Really.
And U.S. soldiers stormed the palace. Reportedly, as of last night, 40 dead Venezuelans.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't either.
I had heard the day before 32. Last night they were reporting up to 40 dead, but it's not a military action.
Just killing people.
Okay, but I'm going back to,
Good luck.
okay, this is why you feel untethered and I'm feeling unbalanced. Okay. The military have taken an oath to support the Constitution.
Yeah,
They have an oath to not follow an illegal order.
correct.
You are
Right.
saying that all those military involved believe it is a legitimate legal order.
So I don't put that burden on them. There are levels of brass, 4, 5, and 6 layers above them
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
that are telling them that this is legal.
Right.
That the White House counsel are relying on a memorandum written in 1989 by none other than William Barr, the former Attorney General for Donald Trump, who at the time wrote a memo to George Bush authorizing his capture of Manuel Noriega.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, Noriega had killed American soldiers. Noriega had, I don't know if he had yet declared war, but there were declarations leading up to possible war with. So the situation was a little different. But Bill Barr made the argument that the court indictment authorized the U.S. government to seize Manuel Noriega, which they did. And they're relying on that memorandum written in 1989 as the legal basis for them deploying the FBI as a
Right.
matter of law and not military to arrest him, and that the military were just there to support that. So I don't put the burden on our soldiers.
Right.
That again, there are at least 5 layers of brass above them that are telling them that this is a legal action. Again, I think it's bullshit.
Okay.
Exactly.
And on the other hand, we have, what was he, a captain, part-time captain in the military, Hegseth, taking
Right.
Captain Mark Kelly, a Navy pilot and astronaut, to task
Yeah.
for broadcasting
Yeah.
a repetition of the oath
Of the oath of every soldier.
of every single soldier. And in fact, it's an oath that I took as a librarian.
And that was in reference to what everybody says was an illegal act, and that was the double tap on those Venezuelans
Yes.
floating on flotsam and jetsam in the ocean,
Right.
completely defenseless, and the military was given an order for a second strike to kill them. That's what Mark Kelly was reacting to, and that was clearly an illegal act that a soldier should not
Okay,
do.
so now doesn't Venezuela
Yeah.
have the right to come back at the US because we
don't.
killed some of their citizens?
It is an act of war. If you're in
Yes.
Venezuela, it is an act of war. The question is, what government there is in place to take the action to
Right.
declare war?
Right, of course.
Their president, and let's be clear, Maduro
God.
is no saint. And in 2018 and in 2024, he lost both elections, but still declared himself the president and got the military and his government to support him.
Sounds so familiar.
Doesn't it, though?
I
So,
say, wait, who is this
but
again?
his vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, it appears has made some arrangement with the United States to allow our government to run their country.
Oh,
It's a lot of questions on the table.
yeah.
Where's the military in this? Where's the police force in this? Where's the administration, the government that runs the actual, where are they in all of this? We don't know.
No.
And we're not even sure where Delcy herself is as the
Mhm.
vice president
That's right.
on this.
Right.
And there are claims that this is about oil, and it is. There's no doubt that the oil companies of the US, which spent billions of dollars to create an infrastructure and expect to recoup their
Course.
payments, are saying to the president, get us back in there.
Mhm.
There's, I also know, being the most transactional president in history,
Oh, yeah.
he's getting something
Oh,
for
gosh,
this.
yes. Oh, gosh, yes.
Um,
Oh, gosh.
and so we just don't know what is going to come of this. The entire western half of Venezuela is not controlled by the Venezuelan government, even Maduro. They're controlled by drug cartels out of Colombia.
Mhm.
Oh,
They're what provides stability for those villages in the west. They run the police force. They have sort of complete control over the western half of Venezuela. And so we have just opened up a can of worms
yeah.
and set loose we don't know what. And that's just Venezuela. What else have we set loose? What's going to stop Putin now from invading the next country he wants to? Because, hey, the US did it.
Right.
And what's going to keep him from grabbing Zelensky off the street and throwing him in a jail cell?
I'm sure.
And I guarantee you, if Putin grabs Zelensky, Zelensky's not getting a trial like Maduro
Oh,
is.
Gee,
And what's preventing Xi from going in now into Taiwan and doing the same thing?
exactly. It's just a whole new map. It's a whole new picture.
Exactly.
And it is lawless.
okay. I have another question for you.
What do we do?
Well, no. Well, now you said that
We'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, it just blew right out of my
I'm
head.
sorry.
All right. Well, it'll come back. What do we do? These are legal questions over which we have no sway or authority to act. So we can't do anything legally. Congress can, but it won't. The Supreme Court can, but it won't. The only thing we can do is we have an opportunity next November in the midterm elections to put people in office who will hold this president and his administration accountable. That's what we do. We need to find candidates. We need to campaign for them. We need to campaign with them. We need to vote. We need to register voters.
Yes, register voters. Definitely.
Yeah.
I remembered what it was.
Good. Come on.
Oh, God. Don't tell me this. It went out again.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, my
It will
God.
do that.
This is what we've
Oh, my
got to.
God. I was just thinking how untethered you feel and how gutted I feel. It's like clearly affecting me. Okay,
You got
here it is. We know Trump by himself does not have the intellect to come up with all the
Oh, no.
things that you just mentioned.
Correct.
Who runs Western Venezuela, and he can just pop off drug cartels.
What's going to happen with Delcy Rodriguez?
He just floats words. Okay.
That's a good way to put it.
Truly. I mean, he
We're
said
set.
something about Greenland, when we were there 300 years ago. Hello. coming up on our
150th anniversary.
Not tell him 2026 is our 250th, or maybe he just can't figure out the map.
And on a map.
That's why Miller's wife had to put an American flag on it, so, it could be identified. But at any rate, okay, so we know it's not Trump the person. We know that Trump is a puppet. I want to know who are the real demonic brains behind this operation, because those folks are the ones who are hell-bent on destroying our democracy.
Absolutely.
And putting themselves in as dictator.
Here's a short list. Bill Koch of Koch Industries has a ton of money invested in the oil infrastructure in Venezuela. The oil companies themselves, the Heritage Foundation is the architect of much of what's unfolding now in the Trump administration.
Right, 2025.
Steve Miller is the brains behind the operation. He actually is the guy's got a brain in him. He's a very smart man, and he knows perfectly well how to pull the puppet strings that is Donald Trump. And I have my own suspicions about the extent to which Vladimir Putin has puppet strings attached to Donald Trump.
I feel quite certain that is true.
Yeah. Back to Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president, who apparently for now is taking over operations. Venezuela has very close ties with China. Not quite as close, but close ties with Russia. And whatever she's saying to Donald Trump to try to win his allegiance, to keep him at bay for now, I guarantee you she's having separate conversations with Xi and with Putin about. And this is the other thing about what's changed. We've talked about what we've lost in America by doing this. We have never since the Second World War taken a military action without consulting with our allies. We've talked about we didn't consult with Congress. What about our allies?
Good point.
This creates global unrest, and not one of our allies was aware of this action we were about to take and woke up as surprised Saturday morning as we were. And the UN met yesterday, and there was strong language about what the US did, but they're not going to do anything.
Well, because the United States is a major member of the Security Council.
That's exactly right. But we helped author the charter of the UN and just violated the very spirit and essence of the UN charter and all that it represents. And so what now? Where are we in terms of global politics because of this one action?
I think when the escalator stopped midway on Trump's ascent at the UN, he held it against him.
Well, he's always hated the UN.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, since he believes he can do anything he wants to do, he's not going to pause.
What is there to lead him to believe otherwise?
Really, everything has fallen into place at his feet. He's got everything.
I know this is probably not going to happen in my lifetime.
God.
But I think of it in terms of just personal relationships. Okay. If I had friends like Great Britain and Denmark and Germany, France,
Sweden,
Italy,
and they're all chagrined because of our behavior, when would I trust me again?
Oh, never.
No.
I would never trust me ever again. I would never believe there is an agreement, a treaty, anything that had my name on it that I would believe.
Forget about our friends, Iran. Barack Obama's administration worked out a negotiated treaty on a nuclear advancement with Iran that they were adhering to. And in Trump's first time in office, he just
bombed.
Right.
tore the paper up and said, we'll write a new one. Well, he didn't.
Well,
And now, what country, forget about Iran, what country is going to write a treaty with the U.S.?
Why would they?
Even if we elect a Democrat, they're going to say, hey, 4 years, you're going to get a Republican and he's going to tear this.
Yeah.
We have no capacity now
can't
to be
trust you
trusted
anymore.
by anybody. That's such a good point, Sharon.
Do you know, I remember, oh my golly, back in the day,
There was a day. I've
19,
almost forgotten.
circa 1969, 68, 69, I was engaged. And my young man thought that he could be a conscientious objector to the war. Didn't believe in it, but it wasn't a religious basis. He just didn't believe in the war.
Right.
And who blames him?
Yeah.
Okay, I said, I don't think you've been a churchgoer, strongly enough for your pastor to sign off on that. Okay.
I would have.
Well, I'm confessing. Then he said, well, I'd like to move to Canada. And I said, leave my country? I'm such a patriot. Wayne, New Jersey, Washington slept here. You want me to move to Canada? I can't do it. And then I said to him, don't you care about Country Mom and apple pie from
Don't
World
forget
War?
baseball. Don't forget baseball.
Well, I don't like baseball. But, World War, I know, World War II era thinking. And we didn't even know where Vietnam was.
Yeah.
We had to look it up on the map. I still spelled it as 2 words. We couldn't find it on the map. So, okay, you go over to Vietnam. Okay. And somehow I was so naive. I was just 20. I got a letter from him almost every day. And I thought there must be red, white, and blue mailboxes in the jungle on the trees. How else could this be happening?
Yeah.
Right? So I send him off.
Yeah.
And then stay glued to the TV watching the first broadcasts of military actions real time.
Yeah.
See if we could see him or anybody else that we knew.
Right.
Worried about the knock on the door. If somebody didn't call first and there was a knock on the door, everybody just froze. Who's going to go to the door? I mean, those times when it was all over, I remember walking through our little town and the church bells were ringing because the war was declared over.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, this has got to be the end of it. I mean,
no more.
brutal, ugly, horrible, miserable. It's got to be the last one.
Yeah, last one.
Fast forward, my son is serving in the army in Afghanistan. What did we learn?
Nothing.
Not a whole lot.
At the time, I believed that we were an agent of good. I believed that. I believed we were fighting communism.
It was a bit naive, but we had reason to.
Yes, we
And
did.
the vast majority of the world would have agreed with you that we were a force for good.
Same thing with
Absolutely.
Afghanistan. I mean, I thought we were going in to get the women out of the burqas and allow women to go to school and
Right.
different things. I felt we were on the side of good and
Yes.
we were right. And I believe in democracy. It's not the only government form that can work, but I believe in democracy. And here we are with all of that in our background, and it's just been thrown out the window.
It has been, and trumped on.
And yes, and trumped on.
Trumped on.
Trumped on.
Ooh, that's good.
And we still have the Trumpstein files.
I was wondering if we would get to that. Let's close with this. Given everything that we've said, let's not also dismiss the notion that this happened because Trump wanted our minds off of the Epstein files, and they are for now. And then one more thing, and this just galls me. There is an advisory commission officially sanctioned by the Department of the Treasury, and any coin that gets minted has to be vetted and approved by them. And they spent, in anticipation of our 250th anniversary, I don't know, a year or more, and presented shortly before, well, not long ago, their recommendations for commemorative coins to be minted for the 250th anniversary. There were 5 of them. One was Frederick Douglass.
Mm-hmm.
One was, why can I not remember her name? The young girl that broke the color barrier
Yes.
in Arkansas.
Yes.
Desegregated the schools.
Yes.
And one for, I think it was Elizabeth Cady Stanton to celebrate women's suffrage.
Mhm.
A way of saying that in 250 years, even though we wrote a constitution, we've had to come back and amend that constitution to
Right.
become
Which
what
is
we
why
dreamed we
democracy
were.
is so great.
Yes,
Trump,
because we
Donald
have
Trump
that.
has said, went to his Department of the Treasury and said, no way we're printing those coins. So they threw them out, have now illegally minted or provided the permission for them to mint 5 different coins. And there are things like Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. Okay, but of course they're all white. And who do you think the 5th coin is?
No.
Yeah, I don't, that's
Don't.
just so.
Donald Trump, the 5th coin. When the US wanted to mint a coin with Washington on it, he said, absolutely not. He says, I'm not a king and I don't want to come anywhere near the notion that we're creating that. And he didn't appear on a coin until over 100 years after his death, 1932.
Really?
And Donald Trump is going on a coin minted for the 250th anniversary.
I hope there are a lot of MAGAs who want to own them because I won't touch it. I won't touch it. I won't touch it with my hands. If there is a coin that comes down, a coin thing for me to get, I'm taking all the other ones and that one is staying right there.
Or I'll say to them, I don't want that.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
talking
that's
about.
Can't give me another one?
That's
You
stuff
keep
there,
it.
yeah, not doing that. Yeah.
And on that note,
Oh,
you have a last word?
Liberty and justice for all.
That all is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, isn't it?
We're not going to
Don't
let
lose
it
hope.
happen.
Thank you.
no, we have to expand that all. We have to, we can't, we have to expand. Anyway, my word, I have a word for the year.
Yeah.
It came through the UCC catalog somehow. But anyway, my
I know what
word
it
for
is.
myself, no, you don't. My word is courage.
Okay.
Excellent.
That's not what I was
But
gonna
what
say.
we need is solidarity.
Yes.
Solidarity.
Absolutely.
Because even, I mean, I have read things that say, I don't oppose you as a MAGA person because you have a different political view. I oppose you on moral grounds.
Yeah.
Good.
And that's where I feel as well.
Yeah.
But if you were to say, okay, oh, wow, this is not what I expected. I want to come back into the fold. I would have some mistrust, but I would welcome them back into the fold because I would rather have them close to me than out there opposed to me.
Yeah.
And, I think only good can come of that. But we must be a firm solidarity in our rejection of all things Trump.
Yes.
Solidarity. I like that. My last word, as always, is hang in there. We need each other.
Yes.
We're going to get through this.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. We are the poet, the pastor, and the pundit, opining on the intersection of faith and politics.
Read my shirt.
Save democracy, resist, persist, prevail. Thank you for hanging in there with us. We'll be back soon. Bye-bye. That was our podcast this week. Be sure to tune in next week for another edition of The Poet, the Pastor, and the Pundit, opining on the intersections of faith and politics. Thank you for listening.